Yo, what's good with you? On today's video, I got the how to make a Demon Slayer game. This is part two. I'm making a part two to the series already. As you can see, this is just the day after the I'm recording this the day after the part one dropped. Part one dropped and stuff. You guys, you showed it love, you showed it support. You guys enjoy the first part. So I'm like, okay, bet. Let me go ahead and make part two and get that scheduled for y'all for the last week of Demon Slayer's season. I don't know if this is season 3 or season 4. Yeah, I don't know because they call it the source, not Swordsmith Village. They call it the train Hashira training arcs. I don't know, but anyway, um, for the end of the season, the current season and stuff. So I just wanted to go ahead and drop this for y'all and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, so part two is more so it's additional stuff. It's adding on additional stuff. Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched part one, go watch part one first. But yeah, so part two covers adding on some additional stuff. We're not necessarily creating anything new and stuff technically, but we are making something, we're setting things up. Part three is where we're actually going to cover the real cool stuff, but for now, we're setting up some more things. So for the first thing, we're going to add a hotbar. Hotbar, obviously, for our abilities, right? So you're going to open up Core GUI, right? You're then going to insert a frame into Core GUI. This frame will be called hotbar frame. So hotbar frame, right? So you can move this frame to, like the bottom middle of your screen. The whole point is it's supposed to be what's it called? A hotbar. So it's supposed to be at the bottom of your screen. You can set the background transparency to 1 because we don't need it to be visible. Then you're gonna insert a UI grid layout into it and stuff, right? You guys can set these properties to whatever you want. What I went with was 10 by 5, so I set this to 10 for the cell padding. As for the cell size, I went with 60 by 50. So 60 and then 50, right? And then you can see what this looks like and stuff in a second. So we're going to insert a text label into the hotbar and stuff, right? So we're going to insert a text label, right? And then I'm also going to insert a UI corner. You guys don't have to do this. This is optional, but I decided to go with corner labels. Now, as you can see, it's actually it's a little high up actually. So we could drop the Y value like half, and then probably bring this down a little. So like 0. Yeah. So maybe do this by 0.85, bring it down, right? So we have our text label, right? So this, you're gonna rename this first one to first form text label. As you can see, there's clearly a pattern. So you're gonna go first, so in a sense of the numbers, so 1, and then form text label, right? So you're gonna follow that same naming pattern. So bold text, scale text, right? You're gonna set the background color to a nice dark grayish black. Background transparency will be 0.5, right? And then let me get a darker color actually. So something like this, right? Then we can clear out the text by default. I would recommend probably having like white text with text stroke transparency being set to 1, set to 0, and then text stroke color being set to black. And then I'm gonna insert or no, I'm gonna duplicate actually. So I'm gonna duplicate this. So Control D, and then I'm gonna drag this into the text label the text label we just made, right? You're gonna want to rename this to first form keybind text label. So keybind and stuff. And then this is just whatever your keybind would be. So I'm gonna set this text to 1, and then obviously we want this to be extremely small. So you could do like. No, actually, I think 25 by 25 might actually be better. So 25 by 25. And then you just want to drag it above, right? Something like that. And then we could leave the background if we want to, or you could just set the background transparency to 1 and just have it like that. So boom. Then you would have your keybind right there. Then we're just going to duplicate this. Control D, Control D, Control D. I'm just going to do this just for four keybind text labels, but you guys can make as many as you want. Just follow the same naming pattern. So instead of first form, it's now second form, right? And naming is very important. Make sure you name everything the exact same way I'm naming it and stuff. The keybind names don't matter, but like the main text labels, that matters. So it's very important that you name them correctly. So second, then we'll change this keybind to 2. For this, go up here, change first to third, then come down here, change first to third again, then come down here, set the text to 3, then go down here, and we're gonna set this to fourth form, and then form, the text to 4, and then boom, just like that, we have set up our hotbar and stuff, right? So we're done there. Then we can head on over to server storage, and then I'm going to insert a folder into server storage. You're going to want to rename the folder. Honestly, I was struggling to come up with a proper name for this, but we're just going to call this breath information, right? It's our breath information folder. So you're going to have each one of your breathing forms inside of this folder. So you're going to insert another folder into that folder, and then here is where you're going to rename that folder to whatever the name of the breathing form, whatever the name of that specific breathing form is. So for this, I'm just going to do flames for one example. So I'm just going to do flame and stuff. Obviously, you would just create another folder inside of breath information. Just create another folder, and then you would just name this like water. That simple, right? So inside of this, you're going to insert a string value, right? Naming is very important here, so make sure you pay attention. So first form, you'll notice the names, they match. You see, the only difference between the text labels and the string value is the two words text and label at the end. It's very important. So make sure you don't include any spaces, nothing. They have to match exactly as is. So first form, right? So you can do first form, and then you're going to put the value is going to be set to whatever the name of the attack is. So if I recall correctly, well, I know one of them is unknowing fire. Then I'm going to duplicate this while having it selected. Press Control plus D. Then we're going to rename this to second form. And then blooming flame undulation. And then Control D again. For this one, I know unknown fire. Or I think unknown fire. I'm pretty sure that's an attack, if I recall correctly. Then third form, and then Control D, and then for the last one, rising scorching sun. I think rising scorching. That's not spell scorching. Rising scorching. Bro, I do not know how to spell. What the fuck? Scorching, scorch. Oh, scorching sun. I don't know what was going on. Okay. Fourth form, boom, right? So you would just fill it out. You keep going, fifth form, sixth form, seventh, and stuff, you get so forth. I'm just doing 4 as an example, but yeah. So these are the this is what's gonna pop up in the Hotbar, so the player will know what their abilities are, what they have available to them, right? So we're done there. Obviously, if you have a game like an RPG type of game where you want like requirements and stuff, you can insert a number value into the form, and then you could rename the number value to like level requirement or mastery requirement, and then set that individually for each skill, so that a player has to be a certain level and stuff. I won't be doing that, but you guys can do that if you want. So then we can open up the local script. We're literally just adding one function and then removing the server script. So we're gonna go all the way to the bottom after the user service input ended function, right? You're gonna say core event dot on client events connect function, in parentheses you're gonna put event type comma arg1 short for argument number 1 comma space arg2 short for argument number 2, enter. Then you're gonna say if event type is equal to joined, right? Enter. Wait, what if I like? Oh, my bad. I actually deleted this whole thing when I wasn't supposed to. You guys are probably confused. On your screen, you probably already have this part, and then you have this part. My bad. So you guys have the whole game, the starter GUI, set core GUI enabled, and the core. Yeah, we already did this. Backpack, comma false. I accidentally deleted this whole thing when I was trying to delete the part after. So yeah, so we have all that. So now you can get started here. All you have to do is just add the arg1 and arg2. Okay, so here's what we're also going to add here, right? We're also going to update the hotbar so that it displays the form abilities we have. So create a variable. First is form number. This is going to be first form, second form, third form, right? So we know which text label to update. So that's going to be equal to argument number 1. Then for the second one would be the form name. That's just the name of the skill, So local form name is equal to R2, right? Then you're going to set up a for I v in pairs loop, for I comma v in pairs. You're going to say core GUI. Oh, my bad. You're going to say core GUI dot hotbar frame get children, enter. If v of course is a text label, because we do have a UI grid layout in there, and v dot name, twice the naming is important, is equal to form number dot quotation marks text label. Naming is very important. Enter. Then you're going to say v dot text is equal to form name, right? Then we can move on to the server script. So then we head on over to the core server script. Open up server script service. So as you guys can see, I have 2 new animations. Again, I get all my animations from the toolbox. Just look for animations in the toolbox, you will find them. So I have a flinch and a knockback animation. Flinch is pretty much when you're hit by something, but it's not like you're getting pushed away. It's just like you got hit by something. Knockback is when you're actually getting you were pushed back and stuff, right? So yeah, you can get your animation from the toolbox. Make sure you name them the same, and yeah. So we're gonna make some improvements to the combat system and stuff. And also we have to make adjustments so that we can update the hotbar. So go up here, we're gonna need to create a couple of variables. So first, to our services, we're gonna have to get the tween service. Local TS is equal to game get service, tween service, then get the debris service. Local TS is equal to game get service, debris, right? Then I'm going to create a variable for our breath information folder. So local breath information, or maybe I just called it form information. I don't know. You must just say game server storage to wait for child breath information, right? Then we're gonna go up here and we're going to add some stuff. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a value, right? Let's save ourselves some time. Let's copy and paste the combat status, select it, Control C, Control V, rename this right to breathing form. So here's how you keep track of of whatever form the player has equipped. So you can treat it essentially like a kind of battlegrounds game, like how there's a current character value. So for this, you're going to parent this to the player. This is going to be a string value. Obviously, Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. By default, the value will be set to whatever is the default form in your game. I'm just going to put flame, but you could put this to whatever you want. The important thing is that it has to match the name of the, the folder inside of breath information. So you need to make sure the names match, right? So I'm gonna have that, and then we're gonna keep this remote event, but we're just gonna change it. So we can delete that for now. We're gonna put a space in between. I'm gonna set up 2 for I v in pairs loops. So I'm gonna say for I comma v in pairs. You're going to say breath information, get children, enter, use an if statement. You're gonna say if v.name, so one of the breath folders, is one of the breathing forms folders, is equal to breathing form.value, so whichever one the player has currently equipped. Then enter, you're then going to say for I2 v2 in pairs. You're going to say v get children, enter. Then you're going to fire the remote event. So core event, fire client. So specific player, comma, marks joined, comma. Then you're just sending over the name, which is the form number, and then v2.value, which is the name of whatever the ability is. So v2.value, right? And then that's all we did there. Now we can scroll all the way down to the M1. We're gonna make some adjustments. We're gonna make it so that their animations play whenever the enemy is hit. There's now knockback on the 3rd hit. What was the other thing? There's knockback. Oh, and there's also damage effect. Like the enemy body will like glow red for a second and stuff. Just another indicator of the fact that they were damaged. Okay, so we're actually gonna drag this down. Do I want to do that now? Yeah, I'll do it now. So here's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna take this. The reason I'm moving this is because I realized there was an inconsistency with the animations where like it was updating the value and like it was just kind of weird and stuff. So I'm just moving this down. It was like just an inconsistency. I realized like the animations would play twice or something. I don't really know. But yeah, so we're just gonna copy that. So just copy that whole thing, right? Just gonna scroll down. You're looking to paste this right above the task.wait. And right under the whole if array if statement. So Control V, right? We're just moving, and then we're also going to add something to when I get down there. Stuff. For now, we're just gonna go back up here. So once we've realized and stuff, or once I guess the script, the server, whatever I'm gonna call it, has realized that there was a enemy within distance and stuff, we're gonna go after the sword hit, and then we're gonna start setting up the damage effects. So you're gonna say for I comma v in pairs. Not character, enemy character, sorry. Get children, enter, right? You're gonna say if V is a mesh part, this accounts for R15, or V is a regular part, this accounts for R6, enter, right? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a search. You're gonna say if V find first child, highlight, just to make sure that there's no current effects. And if there are effects, we will destroy them. V dot highlight destroy, right? Close parentheses. You're gonna go after that if statement, and then you're gonna create the highlight. You're gonna say local highlight is equal to instance.new in quotation marks highlight. Then you're going to parent this to whatever that particular part is. So you can say V. Then we're gonna set some properties. Highlight dot adorny is equal to V. Highlight dot fill color, of course, is going to be red, so color 3 dot new, and then it's going to be 1 comma 0 comma 0. Highlight dot fill transparency is equal to 0.5. We don't want the body to be like fully red. Then highlight dot outline color is equal to color 3 dot new white, so 255 by 255 by 255, right? And then we're done with that whole 5 being pairs. So we can go after the two ends. And then here's where I'm going to set an if statement. So I'm going to say if character dot attack number, oh my bad, that attack number dot value is equal to 3, which means that the enemy should get knocked back. So we're going to set up the enemy animation track. Let's go up here and save ourselves some time. Copy and paste this AT part. So Control C, Control V, rename this to enemy AT, Control C, Control V. Then of course change character to enemy character, right? And then we're going to change this. So for this, you're going to get your knockback animation. So we actually don't need all this. All we're going to do is just say script.knockback. So for our knockback animation, play that animation, right? Then we have to set up the actual thing. So we're going to wait 0.3 seconds. So I do want to clarify something though, and stuff, that this wait time, or if you even have a wait time, it depends on the type of animation you're using. The reason that I'm doing this is because like the animation kind of has to like it needs a second to kind of like start, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm adding a task that wait. So you guys may not need that and stuff. So just play around with the wait time and just see if it looks better with or without a wait time. Now we set up the knockback. Very simple. Local attachment is equal. Oh my bad. Is equal to instance.new in quotation marks attachment, comma, parent this to the enemy characters humanoid root part. Boom. Then we can create the linear velocity. Local linear velocity is equal to instance.new. Quotation marks, we're going to say linear velocity, parent this to the attachment. Then we're going to say linear velocity dot max force equal to 5 nines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then linear velocity dot vector velocity is equal to, in parentheses, you're going to say character dot humanoid root part dot position. I cannot spell today. What is going on? Position. Yeah, there we go. Now position minus enemy character dot humanoid root part dot position. I don't know what is going on. Position. Then go on the outside. Then you're gonna say dot unit times vector 3 dot new. Parentheses, you're gonna say negative 80, comma 0, comma negative 80. Right. Then after that, you're going to say linear velocity dot attachment 0 is equal to the attachment. Boom. And then you're going to use the debris server. So you're going to say ds add item attachment, comma 0.1 seconds. You want it to be returned almost instantly. Then we're going to throw in else. So else, which just pretty much means that the attack number is equal to either 1 or 2 and stuff, so that they're not supposed to get knocked back. They're supposed to just be a flinch animation. So copy and paste the enemy animation track portion, Control C, Control V, just change this to flinch, and then that's it for that. And that's really it for that part of the if statement, right? And then once we come down here, all we're gonna do is we're gonna copy and paste this part up here, all the highlight portion we just created. So Control C. So for here, you want to go between what we just did, and you see where we're setting the enemy character's combat status back to normal. So you want to go here, Control V, right? So for this, what we're gonna do is, I would say we could really delete this part. Yeah, we really delete this part. So what I'm gonna do is we leave the far v and pairs part the same, the if statement as well. We're gonna create a highlight variable. So highlight is equal to v dot highlights, right? Then I'm gonna set up the highlight tween. So I'm gonna say local highlight tween is equal to ts create, and then you're going to put the highlight variable, of course, comma tween info dot new. Then I'm gonna set the duration to 0.3 seconds. Enum dot easing style is equal to linear. Enum dot easing direction is equal to out. Then put a comma between the parentheses, comma special brackets to create a table. Then fill transparency is equal to 1, comma outline transparency is equal to 1. and then go after that, play the tween, highlight tween, play, then use the debris servers to eventually destroy them. So DS add item, highlight, then it'll destroy it after 1 second. And then down here, the only adjustments I made here was that I adjusted the animation track and stuff for when the player is what's it called, when the player is doing its final hit, because the reason is I changed the animation so it's like a up, like it's an upright, I don't know how to really describe it. It's like when the person puts a sword, like they hold the sword up, they put it behind their back, and then they slam it down and stuff over their head like an axe stuff. So you guys may not need to do this. You may not need to do this. I'm just adjusting the speed just to slow down the animation because it is a little too fast and stuff. So I'm just doing this because my animation is a little too fast. You may not have to, so you may not have to include this. So you can put it, and then if the third animation is if it's too fast, then just take it out. That's simple. So yeah, those are the changes and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, it was a 20-minute video. That's why I didn't want to make. That's why I didn't want to make much more stuff. I just wanted to do this so far. So in the next video, I'll cover setting up like using skills and stuff, and then it knowing like, okay, you're trying to use first form, flame, whatever, second form. So yeah, we'll cover that. So let's go ahead and test to make sure everything works. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts mods, you guys can become either a channel member or just a subscriber. Link to either one of those options can be found in the description. Stuff, highly recommend that. Yeah, as you can see, it's working and stuff. I can see all of the abilities in each individual hotbar text label and stuff. So yeah, you guys already know, if you continue to show this series love and support, I will continue to keep making it. So just make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's go ahead and test. So here's what I mean, right? I don't know if you remember, but I changed the third animation look. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you guys see it's up slash, and you see how the animation is actually pretty fast itself, and this is it slowed down at half speed. So look, boom. So okay, so the damage effects is working. Except their body should turn red with like an outline of white for 0.3 seconds. And then the final hit, boom, it should knock them back and play a knockback animation. Boom, 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 right? So boom, everything works. So we're done. Great job, everybody. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe. Listen, I will continue the series as long as the series continue to get love and support. So yeah, let me know what else you guys want to see, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.